This review is going to be for the Gruolin, the Gruolin laser light show. This thing is pretty freaking powerful. Has a lot of setup. Sorry, I have another laser going. I'll turn that off. This guy is amazing for the size and price that it is. Runs about 130, I believe. Works great with fog. If you have this up on the ceiling, definitely going to set the mood for your party or whatever kind of thing you have going on. It has a lot of different modes. And I can go through those modes. Do I turn on the light here? Actually, so the back has menu buttons. I can go through those at the end. So this is going to be kind of going through some of these modes. So right now we're on Auto 4. I'm going to go to Auto 1. It's going to count down and it's going to go through a bunch of different patterns. This one seems to go through a lot of pretty much every shape that it has to offer, is what I've noticed. And a lot of different things like that. I mean, it goes on. It goes through lines, different patterns, and I mean, the video doesn't seem to be picking these up as easily as just seeing them. The laser is very bright. It works great. And I'm going to go on to Auto 2, which is more of like the circles going around. Right now I don't have music going, but works great. I don't know, I think this is more of like these kind of circular kind of things with it has arrows, a lot of squiggly lines. This is probably one of my favorite pattern sets. Kind of like an hourglass shape. Auto 3 is going to be more of like circular kind of motion. A lot of like dots and line work. I feel like this is really good for like EDM drops, or like harsher music, I guess you could explain it as. And this next one, Auto 4, gonna count down again. It's gonna go through a lot of patterns. This is more of like the line work one. Spinny lines, squigglies, all that kind of stuff. Has a very wide range actually. Seems that I think this one might have a bigger size of patterns as well. Now the auto is good and all. I was a little unimpressed at first when I first saw these. I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But it wasn't until I used the sound mode to where you can go on, it'll react to the different sounds and change the pattern based on what the sound is, how intense it is, and you can change your modes. It's the same patterns as the auto modes, so you go through like everything, then like the patterns, a little bit more line work, then all line work basically, but it's all sound based. And then this is where you control your sound sensitivity. If you want it to be less sensitive, go all the way down to 1, and then it can go all the way up to 9. This is going to be your most sensitive setting. I prefer to keep it around 5 or 6. Mid-range is great. For most louder music you're going to have, CL is going to be your color. You can go through different colors. There are, I forget how many sets, actually. I think there's 8. So you have your blues, dark blue and red. Okay, you have 4 different sets. This is going to be your green and red, just green, blue, light blue. Then you gotta have that, the dark blue and the dark red. Then number 1, which one? I think this is everything. You can see at the top there, that's the light blue. Then you have on the sides the dark blue, and the bottom the red. And then if you press menu again, it's going to bring you to the code settings. If you're really good at setting this stuff up, you can go through these. I believe this is for when you have a DMX controller set up. I don't have that, so I will not be able to show you through that menu. This is back to the auto. Yeah, this is the auto. So we're just back at the beginning where we were. But this guy does have a lot to offer, I would say. I was unimpressed at first until I got the sound involved at one point, or a few points, when you have an EDM kind of feel to it. It did count down, and then it went all crazy when the drop happened. It does not have a controller. I will eventually hang this up on the ceiling, but it does have your power. What I was messing with, the menu, enter, your up and down for selecting different modes, DMX and out. Power cable is a little short. Not a big fan of how short it is. Then your on-off switch. So then on the side you have your cooling fans here and here. And on the front, obviously you have your lasers. So this is pretty good, I would say, for what it is. On the cheaper side of lasers, as far as the patterns and everything like that. Definitely recommend. I was a little unimpressed at first. I was going to return it, and then I found how to really set this guy up. Now I'm very impressed.